YouTube, Awesome Writer here. Welcome to my review for BoonBoomger episode 13. So this episode we had a couple different debuts. We debuted our new beast animal themed auxiliary vehicles for some new formations, and we also debuted the Boon Boom Killer Robo, which is the enemy's Megazord, which is basically kind of like a repaint slash remold looking like not an evil version, just another shoe like this one. So let's dive right in with the positives. I mean, I guess the first positive I have is kind of a mixed one in the sense that I did like that part of the reason we're getting these more creature-themed auxiliaries was because they were inspired by the Go-Onger hybrid, which I thought was a nice way of kind of making the Go-Onger thing count for something and making it feel less tacked on and strange. It's only mixed because if it were up to me, I think there could have been many reasons to do this, and I still would not do the Go-Onger crossover in this series. I mean, sure, do it wherever else, but I do like that they tried to make it a little bit more seamless. Like, kind of comparing it to Legend in Gotchard. I mean, I hate to always bash on Gotchard, but that definitely feels weirdly tacked on. It feels like an anniversary movie crashed right into Gotchard, and it feels very strangely put in there, where I still feel the Go-Onger one feels more forced at the end of the day. I mean, the Kyurger one felt forced on paper, but they made it feel natural in the show. But the Go-Onger one just feels forced for the dumb, oh, they're both vehicles, they have to team up. Bottom line is, it's mixed because I do like that they tried to make it count for something. I thought that was neat. I also really do like their designs, especially Beast. Using my favorite word here, they have a lot of personality, which I really like. You know, the BoonBoomger vehicle system surprised me. In general, most of the individual ones still, you know, aren't anything to write home about. They're the most generic ones possible. They look like just generic, like knockoff Hot Wheels you'll see at the store. But the general formations wound up being far more interesting than I thought they would be. But these are probably my favorite individual ones because they do have a little bit more going on. Also, for the positives, speaking of design stuff, I love Boon Boom Killer Robo. I think it's a great evil robot design. Apparently, it's even releasing retail, which is crazy, but it's definitely one I'm tempted to pick up. I'm not sure, though. But I really do like the design of it. The overall final fight with them was really cool. It's always cool to see, like, you know, the main version and the evil version fight each other. It was a pretty climactic and cinematic fight, and also cool bits in the fight when they used the Beast Auxiliary, kind of having a little bit more animalistic fight style, excuse me. Overall, that was really cool. Delving into the plot stuff, I did like the idea behind Genba sort of tricking the characters into reversing their misfortune, and I also liked the idea behind them being down and out because they got rid of their sort of charged upness, what do they call it? Like in gear? I can't remember now. How am I forgetting this? It's literally what the title is, but you know that they're like in gear. They're Power Rangers RPM. We stand together. Get in gear. Cranked up. There we go. Or just think about the movie Crank with Jason Statham. But anyway, the idea that like they lose their cranked upness, to use a scientific term, look that up, but to, you know, kind of crank them down. I liked that general idea, and I liked that Genba had that really good line of like, even when I'm cranked down, I can still procure what I need to. I liked his role in like what he did in concept and his line delivery. I was a little bit more mixed on the way it went down, which I'll get into in the mixed and negatives, which I guess I'll get into right now, because I just checked my notes and there's no more positives. I mean, not that this was a bad episode or anything, but I didn't have any more specific positives. So now, mixed to negative, because I wouldn't say anything is outright super bad. It's just kind of like a more mixed feelings on things. And like, speaking of, like, you have the general plan of Genba sort of tricking Team Rocket effectively. And the only reason I had mixed feelings is I feel, and this is probably a nitpick, I mean, it is a nitpick, but I feel for the most part, BoonBoomger, that I was afraid of being a very silly series, has balanced the silly fun and this sort of cool, sleek style very well. And I just thought that they went a little too much with the silly stuff in this, and I wish it was a little more balanced. Maybe it's just because of my taste. Some of that stuff just irks me, and I just wish it was a little more balanced, mainly because it was a cool moment for Genba that just felt slightly undercut by that. Speaking of, I kind of wish that Boom Killer Robo's entrance wasn't with that really dorky music. I like the idea of it coming in and stealing the Rangers, effectively mojo, and they gotta get it back in The Spy Who Shagged Me Too. Is that like a sequel to a second movie? Oh no, I've gone cross-eyed. But anyway, I liked that idea, but I felt that that really silly, stupid music, again, kind of undercut it. Very small nitpick, but it's just kind of like mixing this thing that should have been this really badass first, like, oh shirt moment with this dorkiness, which I just didn't like. So that was just a little bit of a mixed feeling. Very last mixed feeling I have about the episode is just the concept of them needing to find the trust of the new auxiliaries. I like it in the sense that it gives reason to kind of give story to these debuts. You know, I've said in the past, not every auxiliary or, you know, ability form and rider needs a storyline, but I think it's nice when you have a memorable episode. I think it makes you want the toys more. I can't speak to everyone, but when I was younger and even now, when something has some sort of memorable debut, that makes me want to add it to my collection. And when they feel so disposable, I think it makes you not want to go out there and buy it, and also it just makes you really feel the hollow you know, toy sales aspect of the series, which that's what Toku Sentai is anyway, but you know what I mean, like there's those moments where they debut something really quick, kind of like the roly-poly ones and the snail that felt really disposable, and so I do like that they give it a story because it makes it memorable and it makes it something you might want to pick up or something you'll actually remember. You know, the only thing I remember about the auxiliary ones in King Oger is that they were forgotten. The mixed feelings come in with this idea of like, oh, we put AI in it, so they have to trust you. I'm like, well, just reprogram them to trust you. Like, it's AI. It's getting into that like human gear thing. They're not real beings. It's in the name. Artificial. Just reprogram it so they trust you. Like that's just a little bit of logic bleeding in there. But I do like that they gave them a memorable debut, and I appreciate that. But overall, guys, this was a solid episode. You know, some classic BoonBoomger stuff. I really did enjoy the debut of the Killer Robo, and it looks like we're going to continue that next week. It does feel a little bit weird because I certainly feel the team dynamic of the 5, but it feels like this weird pacing now where we made a big deal about episode 9 closing off the initial arc of building the team and then starting a new era, but nothing new has really been kicked off a whole lot. And then we're like 3 episodes away from Boom Violet, and again, it's not like I don't feel what the team's like before Boom Violet arrives, but given that weird hoopla, I guess, I don't know why I said hoopla, I kind of wish there was a more succinct little storyline before he arrived, because it just feels weird now. I'm like, okay, I guess we're now just waiting for Violet. But anyways, guys, what did you think of all the new mecha in this episode and the episode itself? Let me know in the comments as always. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell to get notifications for my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.